Yes, people, what is happening? Welcome back to Lily White Lane and welcome to your first match preview of the season. It's Tottenham Hotspur, it's Manchester City, it's this Sunday live from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And look, I am absolutely buzzing about it. I cannot wait for this Sunday's game against Manchester City. First game of the season. The season starts. It's a fresh start overall for every single side. And look, cannot wait to see my team, and most likely your team if you're watching this channel, Tottenham Hotspur, compete this Sunday against the Premier League champions. Cannot wait for it. Season starts tonight, so if you guys are as excited as I am, make sure to smash that subscribe button, as I say, and support the channel. Well, without further ado, let's delve right into it. So, I've almost forgotten how to do a match preview. I haven't done one since last season. As I say, we've just been doing reviews for the pre-season action. But look, I cannot wait for it. Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester City, live this Sunday. Really hope we can get the job done. I would absolutely love it if Manchester City, the biggest oil club that I've ever seen in football, as I say, purchasing the likes of Grealish, going after Kane, going after all the homegrown boys from clubs, stealing all the best players. I'd love it if they walk into their first game of their season on Sunday and get battered like a haddock down the local chip shop. Absolutely love to see that. I just love, everyone's saying, I think Spurs will come up short on Sunday. No, we won't. We will not come up short. This is my confidence, by the way. We will not come up short. We will go out there. We will get the job done in front of the Spurs fans. Harry Kane will score. Harry Kane will get the winner. He'll kiss his badge. And we'll all be gullible again and think he's going to stay in the next summer will go. But anyway, right. Season starts this Sunday. Speaking of Harry Kane, will Harry Kane start? That's a massive talking point. Will we be playing sort of, the same team as we did in pre-season with no Harry Kane? Obviously, he hasn't played any games in pre-season, but I do think he's eligible to play, as he has been training by himself for about a week now. As I think he started last Saturday training by himself, and now that his quarantine's almost over, he, is joining the squad again. And look, will he start this Sunday? I really don't know. I really do hope that he does start. But the question is, if we can go out there and beat Manchester City, and I know it most likely won't change anything, but if we can go out there and beat the team that he has been almost protesting about to go to, if we can go out there and get the job done, will that change something in his head? Will that make him say, actually, this is my club, And it's always something that I've seen. Football's about loyalty for me. If you grow to love the fans and a club like Harry Kane does, you don't get persuaded by a bit of money, especially with Manchester City, right? So I'd love it, as I say, if Harry Kane did start on Sunday. But do I think he'll start on Sunday? I think we've got to address the elephant in the room that Harry Kane badly wants to go. We can cover it up. We can take a look at his speech. And look, a lot of Spurs fans, I think, are falling for it again. A lot of Spurs fans are saying, we knew Harry, you'd never let us down. Of course he's going to come out with a speech. Of course he's going to have to say something and break the silence. But what I question is, why didn't he break the silence on those first few days when he didn't show up to training? Why didn't he break the silence then and send out that message? He only sends out that message when we find out that Kane is not going to be sold this summer, as I say, and that a new contract is flying about. That's only when we hear it. And the only reason, right, that I believe Harry Kane sent that message out was because of the amount of criticism he got off the fans. Do any of us really believe that for that whole week everything was fine and Harry Kane was just going to come back on Saturday? Would there be that much media attention surrounding him purposely deciding not to show up to training? The plan wasn't for Harry Kane to... I don't care what people say. The plan is for no player to show up 1 week before training. It was his choice to extend his holiday in Florida because he didn't want to show up to training. He didn't want to show up to work, right? So I'm not going to hear any of it. I'm not going to hear any of it from Spurs fans who are saying, oh, Kane will never let you down, as I say, he'll stay at Spurs. Because the truth is, he wants to go. He badly wants to go. And the only reason he would sign a new contract is because the board are almost making him do one. And two, because he's actually not going to be... I know I love Harry Kane, but he's not going to be so thick not to put a release clause in his bloody contract. And that's why his agent... in my opinion, is doing a bad job. You sign a 6-year deal and you don't put a release clause in that. I cannot understand that. But anyway, right, enough about Harry Kane. I don't think he'll start. But even if he doesn't, I think you look at our squad now, and I think we have improved from last season. I see a lot of people saying we haven't improved from last season. I really do think we have. I think we've brought in a new centre-half who's very, very talented. I believe potentially he could be better than Toby Alderweireld. He's almost better than Toby now, in all honesty, with the work he done at Atalanta in Romero. He's absolutely class, right? I think we've brought him in. We've brought, a couple of youngsters in, the likes of Brian Gill, who I think can be really, really talented after what we saw in that final that he did play against Brazil at the Olympics. So look, I'm a lot more positive now with the signings we've made about this game than I was a few weeks ago. But with the City side of things, they have got a dangerous squad. They have got a dangerous, dangerous squad. They, bringing in Jack Grealish. Now, I do rate Jack Grealish. I don't think he's worth 100 million, but I do rate him. And when, if he gets brought on or even starts this game against us, if he gets brought on, those City fans in the away end will be going absolutely mental, right? They've got a very, very good squad. It's going to be very, very hard to break them down. So, the way I think we'll play this game is a counter-attacking game. I think you can't go at City. You can't try and hold on to the ball and press them. Because the thing is with Manchester City, you try and press them and they steal the ball off you. They've got fast players, the likes of Raheem Sterling and Riyad Mahrez bombing down the wing. Find one of those, cross it straight into Gabriel Jesus or whoever comes up to the middle. It was Gundogan a lot last season. Back of the onion bag, you're 1-0 down. You cannot press Manchester City with the quality they have to counter-attack you, with the quality they have to attack your defence, which simply still isn't good enough, although we've acquired Romero, right? So, and this is frustrating. We might grind out a 1-0 win against City on Sunday, and people will have a go at Nuno if we do, and say, I told you he was a defensive manager. The only approach we can take in this game is being defensive. We go all out attack. That game probably ends about 4 or 5-2. We'll score a couple goals because, yes, up front, we've got a lot of talent. But at the end of the day, Manchester City's defence is so hard to break down. That's why they barely conceded any goals last season, right? Barely conceded any goals last season because they got the likes of Diaz, Laporte, John Stones, all of these quality players with Cancelo and Walker, as I say, on the sides, with the likes of Zinchenko, who they can bring in. They got a massive, massive squad. So I'm not even going to go and predict a Manchester City lineup and say this player could score, because you never know the way they're going, to line up. Jack Grealish is going to be one of those players. He's not going to be no one at Manchester City, right? I have to say this now. No one at Manchester City is a first teamer and will play every single week. No one. Apart from De Bruyne, in my opinion, Diaz and Ederson, those are the three players that I think will play most games this season. Everyone gets chopped and changed, and that's why they normally go on to win the league, because they've got such a big squad with so much energy that they can move around, as I say. And when other teams are getting tired and the players have been playing a lot of games, they're absolutely flying because they can bring in a new squad which is just as good. That's the way City roll, right? So Sunday we have to counter-attack them. I believe we try and keep a lot of the ball, because and this is the thing as well, although we don't want to press them, you can't let City hold on to the ball, because they're like, you let City hold on to the ball and see what happens. They will create something, right? Sorry, they're such a tough team to play against. So I think we have to draw them onto us, pass the ball around a bit, play the long ball, or quickly counter-attack, and that's how we break them down with quick players such as Heung-min Son, potentially Brian Gill and Lucas Moura, who can break on Manchester City. And at the end of the day, as good as Diaz is, as good as John Stones is, apart from Kyle Walker in defence, they're slow as anything. There's no way that Ruben Diaz is catching Heung-min Son if he's away, right? He's no Ledley King. He's good, but he's no Ledley King, right? So look, I think we have to counter-attack him. I think we have to play the long ball, and if we do play like that, I think we can break him down. I really do think we can break him down. I think score prediction for this game, it's either going to be 1-0 Tottenham if we break him down, or 2-1 City. That's my, I think we'll either beat him 1-0, get a counter-attack goal, sit back and shithouse it, and take 3 points from that. I'll happily do that against the league champions and arguably the best team in England by a country mile at the moment, right? I'd happily take that, right? Or we try and go for them, we score a goal, but overall they overhaul us with their quality they've got in their side and score a couple more goals. They'll outscore us if we go at them, hence the fact that could be my prediction. But the one I'm sticking with is 1-0 Spurs. It definitely could be 2-1 City, but I'm thinking 1-0 Spurs, right? And that takes us on to the next section of the video. Who's going to play in that Tottenham Hotspur lineup? Now, I'm not going to discuss Kane. Let's just, because we've already done that earlier in the video, let's just say Kane starts up front. In goal, as good as Galini is, and as much as I'm looking forward to seeing him this season, you start with Hugo Lloris in a big game like this. You don't bring Galini in his debut game when he's going to be tested every couple minutes, right? I know he did it against Chelsea, and, you know, his debut in the Premier League, I think we start him against someone such as Burnley or something. Well, you know, it will still get tested a couple times, but you won't have to do too much work, and he can start things off with confidence. Because for all we know, he could have his Premier League debut against City and we can concede 3 or 4 goals, and all of a sudden his confidence has gone to shit, right? So we start Hugo, in my opinion. Centre-back partnership, I'd go with Romero and Sanchez. Now, it probably will be Dyer. This is not my predicted lineup. This is what I would probably want to see, right? I think you start Sanchez in this game. Now, I think Eric Dyer will start because it's that Portuguese connection with Nuno. We saw it with Jose. All the Portuguese love Eric Dyer, right? But I think you start Sanchez next to Romero. And we saw it at times last season. We saw glimpses of it. When Davinson Sanchez played, you know, when we were having that decent run in March, when he played next to Toby, he was really, really good. He didn't make any mistakes. He was, you know, very, very solid. Yet when he plays against Dyer, he was awful. And that's because you got someone like Dyer pointing at you the whole bloody game when he's not doing his job and you're too stupid to go to another place. It was just Comedy Central at the back. You'd have Dyer pointing at Sanchez to go somewhere. Sanchez would go there. Dyer would try and cover Sanchez's man who's now disappeared and is away. Bang, you're 1-0 down. So I think we start Romero, the man himself, and Sanchez next to him instead of Dyer. Fullbacks are simple in my opinion. Regular at left back, Tanganga at right back. There's no way Doherty has done enough to get in that team considering Tanganga's performance against Arsenal. He starts at right back, bombing down the wing, right, Tanganga. Attacking that Royal Club defence. Left back, Sessegnon, I'd like to see. He hasn't played any pre-season games. It's going to be Reguilon, right? Obviously, I'm going with a 4-2-3-1. I think that's the formation we'll play. Holding midfielders, simple for me. No Ndombele, he's a fat... I've got to be careful what I say. I think, you know, there was a video the other day on the channel where Shai gave his thoughts about Ndombele. We know how good of a player he is, but he hasn't got the energy. He hasn't played any pre-season games, and he hasn't lost any weight. It's been 2 years and he still has weight issues. He still hasn't lost weight. So I tell you what, right? Next lunchtime kickoff we have at 12 o'clock. That's when we should start Ndombele because it's lunchtime. There's food on the table, right? That's when we start him. But no. And Ndombele can't start. He hasn't played any pre-season games. It's gutting what's happening, but we've got to get through it. And I think Jose, and as much as people talk about Jose being a hard manager, had a soft spot for a lot of players. We've seen with Nuno, you know, has Ndombele had an injury? Why isn't he playing? He you know, he said it how it is. Nuno said he's not fit to join the, you know, he's not fit to join the squad. You know, he's not fit to. Oh, I can't speak. He's not fit to join the group of players that we have at the moment. And he's got a good point. He's not fit enough in every single aspect of the word, in that he doesn't have the energy. He needs to lose a bit of weight. So for me, holding midfielders, Højbjerg and Skip, right? Skip, it'll be good to see him back in the Premier League and see what he can do. Højbjerg, the Danish Viking himself, going at that Man City defence, as I say. Oh no, I was planning it for this video. I had this Viking hat, and if you saw me on Matt Hayes Tottenham Blogs Man City watch along last season when we got battered by 3-0, I actually watched the game in my Viking hat, and I put it on before the game, as I say, and I got it all set up next to me. I must have put it in the drawer or something like an idiot. But anyway, right, the Viking himself, Højbjerg, as I say, you know, Jack Grealish, look at him doing all these little moves, bang, taken out by Højbjerg. You know, City, they're playing some beautiful football now, passing it around. Raheem Sterling doing that stupid run that he does, bang, taken out by Højbjerg. That's what we want to see, right? Up front is simple for me. Kane, more as the attacking midfielder, as I say. I think we start Gill on the right wing, Actually, we probably won't start Gill on the right wing. He's only just arrived. So look, more as the attacking midfielder. I think he plays better in a more, straight role than he does on the wing or on the right. We've seen it many, many times before when he started up front, as I say, in that Ajax game. That's when he excelled. So look, Moore starts the attacking midfielder. Son on the left wing. There's no two ways about that. Kane up top if he is going to be playing this Sunday. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. Right wing. You know what? I think we'll start Stevie. I do think we'll start Stevie as Gill's not in the squad. We could start Gio and then have Moore on the right wing. But I'll leave that for you guys to speculate. Thank you for watching the first match preview of the new season. And as always, come on you Spurs. And as always as well, come on the Premier League.